Let's talk about how some of these men will have you out here as a single mother with no kids. Greetings, I am Oshacerese, your dream doula, supporting you on birthing the life, love, and business you desire. Please make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Welcome to my channel. Let's get into this topic. One of the most profound concepts that I heard on Instagram, and I wish I had the lady's name. I'm going to have to find it and see if I can add it in the description, but it was several weeks ago, probably a couple of months ago when I saw it. She said that choosing a partner is like choosing a co-parent for your inner child. That is so deep to me. That is so deep to me. Because yes, when you are in a relationship, when I tell you those childhood wounds will resurface, you will get triggered, hunty. You will be tested. You will have the biggest mirror held up to you when you're in relationship with someone. In order to really understand what's happening, you have to realize that most of the time when y'all are arguing or going back and forth or having issues, it's really your inner child, both of your inner child, your inner children going toe to toe. It's not 37-year-old me and 37-year-old you. Baby, you coming into this relationship with all type of baggage. And if you haven't done the work to unpack that bag, and even if you have done the work, you're still coming with the luggage. You're coming with the baggage. Even if it's been cleared out, it's something in that damn bag that you didn't quite get when you was unpacking. That being in this relationship is going to cause it to resurface. So you're coming with all kind of fears, wounds, pain, hurt, misunderstandings, unmet needs, attachment patterns, attachment styles, family dynamics of how you got along with your family that you came from while you're trying to create a new family with this new person. You're coming along with some shit. No matter how good your coping skills are, your communication skills, your conflict resolution skills, there are going to be times where you bump heads with your partner. You ain't going to always get along with this person. You ain't going to always like them, even though the love is there. You're not going to always think that they are God's gift to you. They're going to irritate you sometimes. They're going to respond in a way that you don't necessarily like sometimes. They're going to say some things that might hurt your feelings, even if it's unintentional. So when these inner children get activated, when those tantrums occur, you're going to need a partner that's going to hold space for you to have your big emotions. You're going to need someone that is stable, that is safe, that is willing to work with you through whatever it is that you're going through. And I'm going to be honest, it's not always equal when it comes to being in a relationship. Sometimes your partner is not fully equipped with the tools that's needed in order to help nurture and heal and hold space for that inner child who's hurting, for that pain that has resurfaced, for those emotions that are being expressed. So when she says that your partner is your co-parent to your inner child, that means that you are the first parent and they are the co-parent. You have to do the work to heal your own inner child. You have to reparent yourself. You have to reparent that inner child, that younger self that needed love and attention and affection and assurance. You have to do that work first. But when you're in relationship with someone, you also need for them to be a supportive parent as well to that inner child. You need the nurturing, you need the encouragement, you need the affection, attention, you need the reassurance, you need the space to be held for you. And you also need to be able to be that person for your partner's inner child. You need to be able to be a safe space for them to land, for them to feel like they can be themselves, for them to be able to talk, for them to be able to connect, to be safe, to be close, to be vulnerable. Which brings me to my original thought. I was having a conversation with my cousin one night and I was telling her about this concept, and I'm like, it makes so much sense. You are co-parents to each other's inner child because, you often hear women and men talking about, he acts like my daddy, but he also act like my child. The woman, she act like my mama, but she acts like my child. You do have to play these roles in a relationship. No, we don't want to have to mother a man. We don't want to, like K. Michelle say, you can't raise a man. We don't want to have to do that. And a man doesn't want to have to sit up there and raise a woman unless they controlling and they want to feel like they're raising a woman. But it happens in some areas, in some instances, you do step into that mother or father role because it just makes sense. There may be something that your partner needs that requires you to kind of step into that nurturing or leadership role. But it's very important to know what type of person you're dealing with, because some partners simply don't have the capacity. They don't have the capacity to hold space for you. They don't have the capacity to handle your emotions when they are less than perfect, when you're not happy, when you're not easy, when you're not pleasant, when you're not in a peaceful mode, when you have anxiety or fears or sadness, or you're coming to them with some issue that you need to resolve, or you're setting a boundary. Some partners don't have the space, they don't have the capacity, whether they are emotionally unavailable, whether they are a fearful avoidant, a dismissive avoidant, or whatever type of avoidant attachment style they may have, whether they are not used to the dynamic of being close because of their family upbringing, or if they haven't done the work to heal their own inner child. How are they going to help you heal yours or hold space for yours when they haven't even done that for themselves? They don't even recognize that their inner child is needing them. But you do. You're in the relationship and you see that wounded child within them that resurfaces when things get hard, when they need you to nurture them and help them make decisions and support them and uplift them. And if it's one sided, not only are you not getting support with your inner child, with parenting that inner child, but you're doing all the work to help parent theirs. That's why I say some of these relationships, these men will have you out here as a single mother with no kids. Being in a relationship, and I'm speaking as a woman about being in a relationship with a man, being in a relationship with a man who has you being a single parent to not only your own inner child, but to theirs as well, is exhausting. And that looks like a man that doesn't have what I like to call the ability to figure it the fuck out. Everything that you need to figure the fuck out, plans, decisions, situations, quick thinking, they just don't have it. They don't have the ability to decide. They don't have the ability to lead. They don't have the ability to strategize. And it falls back on you. So now you're having to figure it the fuck out for both of you. You're having to make the decisions. You're having to not only just support, but do. When you are the regulator of emotions, when you are the fixer of all problems, when you have to be the one to bring forth the resolutions to all conflict, baby, that is exhausting. You are literally out here being a single parent in this relationship of co-parenting each other's inner child. And 0 out of 10 would not recommend. You need somebody that can show up just as much as you can, 100% on both ends. And I'm not saying it's always going to be 100%. And you're pouring all your love, most likely from an empty cup or from a cup that's half full, when you should be pouring from your overflow. But most likely you're pouring from a low cup, giving them all the love, the affirmations, the nurturing, the care, the essence, the energy, everything that you have. And it's not necessarily being reciprocated. Mm-mm. Uh-uh. Don't get me started on the weaponized incompetence. No. The weaponized incompetence. They know how to do everything that you need them to do, but they don't do it because they know who's going to do it. you. So stop doing it. As soon as you stop talking, because you're always resolving the issues, but as soon as you put a muzzle on your mouth and be silent, then all of a sudden they have all the answers and they know what to do. No. Healthy partnership requires effort and nurturing and stability and safety and resolve from both partners. You cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot build from an shaky foundation. And you cannot be out here being in relationships with partners who make you feel like you're doing it all alone. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Let's talk about this in the comments. Give me your thoughts. Give me your story times. I have story times if you want to hear them. Let me know. And if you know your attachment style, put that in the comments as well. All my booking information for coaching, content strategies, and all my other services are linked in the description. I will talk to y'all later.